I could just like keep this music going the whole time. I love that beat.
I keep telling you, you got to write a rap to it.
I know.
Keep this music going the whole time. I love that beat. Sorry, I got me on all devices. So.
What is going on? I miss you.
I miss you too. We only live 15 minutes apart.
I know. And then we didn't have Wind Down last week, but hello, everybody. Welcome. Come on into the room. I'm so excited because we're actually on time for the first time.
I know.
Yes, normally that darn team with Monique. But yeah, tonight's episode was really fun. It was really actually good. Super amazing. Before I bring on our amazing guest, I have a treat for y'all tonight. Two treats. So one of the treats is my amazing guest who I'm going to pop on the screen in just a little bit. But I do want to tell y'all, I have a little surprise for y'all. I'm giving 15% off to everybody watching on all Mila Eve Essentials kits. So all of the kits that we have about 10 kits, you're getting 15% off. Code is Wind Down Wednesday. The offer ends in 24 hours. So go ahead and shop milaeve.com and enjoy. I'm giving y'all a little treat. So, our episodes are always sponsored by Mila Eve Essentials. So we're glad for that partnership since it's, it's me. So, but yeah, I'm really excited. So, Riley.
Yes.
What have you been up to? Because we missed the whole week and you've been busy with Riley Knox Couture. So I haven't even seen you.
I'm working on something really big, but I'm also behind the sewing machine going, zzz,
Literally.
Yeah. And working out like crazy, trying to get prepared for my big birthday. And that's about it. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So without further ado, everybody, before we start talking about what we sipping on, I'm going to bring our newest Not for Lazy Moms contributor, Chef Amber Franklin is here. Hi, Chef Amber. Thank you so much for being a part of our wind down tonight. We're so excited about this episode.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So for everybody who follows us on social media, y'all have seen, and on our website, you have seen some of the tasty treats and meals that Chef Amber has been posting. I love her Instagram. Make sure y'all follow her on Instagram. I have the information posted in the description down below. I love that you make these dishes that look fun for the kids, so it inspires them to eat even more. My kids agree. So they'll eat whatever, but I do know that a lot of times people have issues because kids tend to be very picky about their food. So before we get deep off into it, I want people to know who you are. I want you to give some background information on yourself. Before we go there, I want to know what everybody is drinking. What are y'all drinking tonight?
So I am drinking a blend. This is so funny. A guy brought this to my house on a date, and I went and bought it again. It's like this cheap wine, but it's so good. It's called Apothic Red.
Oh, okay. That's a pretty bottle.
It is a pretty bottle, but it's so good. It's very smooth. It's very rich. It's a blend, and it's really good. So
yes.
I'm normally a white wine drinker, but yeah, I'm on a red tonight.
I'm shocked because you usually do like the whites. So that's really cool. Chef Amber, what are you drinking?
So I typically go for a Malbec, so I get really bold, like red. It's my favorite. But lately, Prosecco is just all I want. The bubbles, it's a little bit sweet, dry, and honestly, I think it goes with like everything under the sun, and it makes me happy. So Prosecco.
Yes, the bubbles are always making you happy. Like I'm a wake up, drink water, then coffee, then champagne, then wine. in that order. If I choose to just like go hard that day, it's going to be in that order. And I like because you can transition from the bubbles to the red wine. I'm drinking. I had to open up another one of my bottles. I have been hiding these from Chris because these are my 2012s. from Caymus. You
still have those?
I
thought you were drinking by now.
Only because I've been hiding them from Chris.
And Chris has a heavy pour.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do. You like it? Put it off to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
Look, literally, he forgets that these are liter bottles. They're not the normal 750.
Mm-hmm.
You know, milliliter. So he thinks in his head he's going to just drink this whole bottle. And I'm like, dude, this is the liter. Like, no. So I have to hide them all over the house. And he thought we were out. So he went to the store today and he brought another wine. And I was like, oh, that's what you're drinking? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'm drinking this. He's like, where'd you get that from? I was like, yeah. And he came down here and took some when I was doing my Tea with Monique show. So yes, I'm drinking some Caymus, and I'm drinking them in my new glasses, those shot Sweezel, the we're drinking out of for the anniversary. And I've been obsessed with this glass. I love it. It's just changed my life. So cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Okay, everybody in the chats, I see people are already. Glass of Margaritas is here, Monique. This is why we're friends. This right here, exactly. Glass of Margarita knows what time it is. Look, Syrah.
I love Aaron.
Ginger. Okay, that sounds funny. Danae said water at work. Oh, what? Look, at least you're watching. I appreciate you for tuning in, and
at least you're staying hydrated.
Yes, staying hydrated. I'm sure you'll have your glass after. Riley, I want to your show. I guess she wants to see your show.
She wants to come to my show. Yeah.
Yes. I need a diffuser. We have them in stock. They're on the website, shopmeleave.com. Good evening to you, Haley. Anybody else? Are y'all telling us what y'all drinking? Go ahead.
Someone's drinking the same wine that I'm drinking.
Ashanti's here. Margarita.
Hey!
Yes. That's amazing. So, Chef Amber, tell us about your journey being a professional chef and a professional mom, and just give us some background information so that the people who are a part of the Not for Lazy Moms community, they know who is posting all of these amazing treats that you've been posting.
Yeah, I don't really put my face like right now, like in front of the camera. So I'm just like, this is my nice like little way to say, hey, it's me. So I graduated in 2011 with my culinary arts degree. And I knew right away I wanted to do cake design, cake sculpting. It's really when like the Ace of Cakes show came out, and I was just obsessed with it. And I was like, I want to do that. I can do that. So I actually, I'm self-taught on that. I kind of put myself out of the comfort zone. I did cake competitions. I succeeded really well. And some I just tanked, and that's okay. You have to fall to kind of get back up and understand your mistakes. And then just like you want to keep learning. So I did, after culinary school, I did cake design for a couple years. Then I worked at a local cooking teaching school that for kids from like elementary school to workshops for workplaces or date nights, things like that. So I did that for a little bit. And then I was actually a chocolatier, and that was probably my favorite job. And we did handmade chocolates, from spraying the cocoa butter and like doing hand painting and the ganaches. Oh my God, when you'd walk in that place, just smells so good. So that's actually where my professional working in like a professional kitchen ended. I was pregnant at 27 with my son, who's now 5. And I was actually training my pastry chef to take my job. I was planning on working until like 37 weeks, and then I wanted to have like a little break and just kind of hang out and get prepared for the baby and really enjoy, because I did want to be a stay-at-home mom. Yeah. It was really important to me. And so I knew I was going to take a couple years off and then maybe just go back into the field, it's my passion. It's what makes me happy. So, but I remember at 27 weeks, I was training her and I had contractions. And I didn't know what's going on in 27 weeks. So I went to the hospital, and they're like, you're having preterm labor. And we didn't understand why. And my husband is military. So he was gone for probably 5.5, 6 months out of the pregnancy.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was like when I was like, oh, well, he'll be home in 2 days. It'll be fine. I'll just get back on my feet because I'm a go-getter. Like I will work.
Yeah.
And for the doctor's like, no, you need to lay in bed. So unfortunately, went from doing cakes and then assisting in a cooking school and then doing chocolatier work. It ended there. So, and that's where my journeys now begin to pick back up, what I'm doing right now. But that's actually when I was having the contractions, and about a year later is when they found out that I had lupus.
Wow. So did
Yeah.
that play a part in did that play a part in the preterm labor or? Wow.
Yeah, so they had no idea. They're like, if I got up and I moved and I did anything in the house, or I was like, oh, I'll just go clean a little bit. It's fine. And I would just have just contractions and just so much pain. And they're like, these are full contractions. You need to just stop.
Right.
So I did.
Difficult, especially when you're used to being like busy or on the go. I know I'm the same way. I actually had to my pregnancy with my youngest, Chase. When I was 8 weeks pregnant, we found out that I had it's called a subchorionic hemorrhage, and I almost lost him, and I had to go on bed rest for it was like 6 to 8 weeks. But then even after, my doctor still was like, I don't want you doing anything. It was torture because I'm so used to being on the go, and I had to depend on my husband to do everything, which was even more difficult. Because I was like, what? Is he gonna be able to handle this? But he did, and we made it through. But I can definitely understand. And then you're having pain on top of it. So I can't even imagine. Wow.
So that was 11 weeks of contractions. So I felt like I was like ready. I was like, I want him to come. And I was like, I cannot do this anymore. And then everything kind of went fine, and I was okay. And then, you think as a new mom, you're like, I'm tired. That's why I don't feel good.
Right.
I'm exhausted. I'm up every 2 hours, hour and a half, whatever, So you just blame a lot of things on like, this is just typical being a new mom. And then I like weightlifting, and I love working out, and I worked out my entire pregnancy up until I couldn't. And then I went back in at 6 weeks. And all of a sudden, like, I was having these pains and everything, and I went to the doctor, and I'm blessed that I was able to find out so quickly that I had lupus. Because for some people, it's a struggle that you do the blood work and they're like, oh, it's normal. I guess just keep on going. Versus all my levels were like the highest it can physically be. And they're like, these are all 100% markers for lupus. And then seeing a rheumatologist and going from there. And then it was like, this makes sense.
Explain to everybody exactly what lupus is. I have a close family member that actually has lupus, and I have a friend who also struggles with it as well. So I'm familiar, but for people who don't know and understand, can you explain to them what it is? Because it's different levels to it, and it's different types, right?
Yeah. So there's a couple different types. There is the one that I have is called SLE. It's essentially I call it like the full body lupus. So that one affects your entire, like, the nervous system, your bones, your muscles, your organs, the whole shebang, your skin, everything. Versus there's some that just focus on the kidneys, and that's pretty scary, as well as another one that it focuses on your skin. So you get like a skin scars and discoloration and things like that.
Right.
So lupus, in a nutshell, is an autoimmune disease that is not curable. They're still trying to find a cure for it. There's no true medications for it, and the one that they do have, it doesn't work for everyone. And unfortunately, I tried it, and it gave me more issues. So for me, I just try to do as much natural things as I can do, and that's also what I focus in with my food. Less is more, simple is best. don't eat I don't eat a lot of processed stuff at all. I try doing everything, even if it's like super simple, and some things can be store-bought. Absolutely. I'm going to do it, especially on some days I just don't feel too hot.
Right.
But lupus, it's just, it doesn't want to recognize certain parts of your body at a certain time. And you don't know when it's going to hit. So I tell my friends, I'm like, oh, I'm having a great day. Or they're like, how are you feeling? I'm like, no flare up today. I'm doing great. And so, but I have to remind myself that I am sick, even though I don't look sick, but it's very much keeping myself in check and in balance and wanting to balance life and being a mom and doing my passion of cooking of all different cuisines and just understanding that I got to slow down sometimes.
Right. Yeah. So my family member who has it, there's times where she is like just fine. And then there's times where she's like, I'm really tired. I think I'm gonna go lay down. And then that's when I know, like, okay, she may be having a flare up. I know she's very sensitive to the sun.
Yes.
She can't go out into the sun. She has to like have an umbrella or something that will protect her skin. One time because I asked her, I was like, what does it feel like? What does it feel like when you have a flare up? And she said that sometimes she could just be laying in bed and her whole entire body just starts itching. And she said it's an itch that you can't scratch. And she said, so sometimes she'll just be like scratching her arm, but it's not soothing it. But then she's now having, marks on her arm from scratching because it's just that, it's unbelievable. And you know me, I'm always on a mission. Like, okay, what oil can I use for this? Like, what can I, recommend? So I was talking to Ashanti, who's in the chat, and I was telling her I want to do a little bit more research and figure out which oils can soothe based off of what flare-ups entail. And I want to mix you up something and send it to you for Mila Eve. So I'm going to do that.
Like I will say one of my biggest, so in lupus for everybody, I say it's like a snowflake or a fingerprint. It's so different for everyone. So like say the three of us had it, your flare up, all of our flare ups will be so different. And some of like similar, like I get really tired or I'm just like, it feels like I get hit by a bus. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I just do? And then I'm like, oh, I overdid it. Right. Or I stretched myself too thin, or I'm trying to do it all sometimes and I got to keep myself in check.
Right.
But I have a lot of bone pain for mine. And I explain it that it's almost like a really, do you ever grow up with like growing pains in like your legs or things like that? It's painful. It hurts.
Right.
Yeah.
It feels like that head to toe.
Wow.
I'm texting my family member right now, letting her know what we're discussing because I think that you have the same as her.
Yeah.
It's been a 5-year journey.
I have an aunt who has it, and I know you have good days and bad days. So my question for you, Amber, is what do you do on those days when you're having a bad day? Like, what do you do for yourself? Is there a certain thing that you have to do?
I have to tell myself to just breathe. And that it'll pass, and that I have to remind myself there are good days and that I just have to slow down and it's okay. So like that's what you can do for anyone that has that it's anyone that has an autoimmune disease, really, like it affects everything. It's your whole yourself. So I just tell myself, just breathe, just take a breath, feel it, hear it, and listen to it. Which I think a lot of people, like over in general, like with just life, like you see the signs, the universe is talking to you of like, hey, you gotta slow down, hey, you gotta stop. And sometimes it's when it hits me and I'm like, oh, I definitely hear you today.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was looking at some of the comments and it's just one of those things. It's like I feel like there needs to be more research put into it. And we're literally in 2021. Why don't we know more? Why isn't there a way to really get relief for people? Because like I said, my family member who has it, we've had conversations. I've seen it firsthand when she comes to visit or if I'm visiting her. and I feel helpless because it's like, what can I do? You know, like we've done research together, looking up natural remedies and different things that could help ease some of the discomfort. So in your journey, have you, what type of natural remedies? You said that you would use natural resources. What type of natural remedies have you tried and that you felt as though helped at least somewhat?
Cleaning my diet. That has been a major thing. There's certain foods that have been like proven of like it causes flare-ups, and like using a lot of garlic, which is kind of the opposite for when like you don't feel good. You want to have like, you know, good bone broth with lots of fresh garlic and all that kind of stuff. It's actually the opposite. So garlic, sprouts, and I don't really truly understand why, but it is, and I have had tons of garlic, you know, like I've done roasted garlic on some bread, and oh, so good. And then it hits me, and I'm like, oh, I was not thinking. And this is in the beginning, so this has been a 5-year journey for me, and I think this 2020 has been a massive learning curve. I think for everyone, and just, you know, how to just pick it up and go with the flow. But it has been just like a massive, just new learning curve for me, I guess, for lupus. And just, you know, I'm not a big fan. I mean, me personally, because I've tried it, of the drugs, and it just, my doctor said, well, take this for this then, or if this is bothering you. And I'm like, so why am I doing more and more to my body? So
yes, and then your body has to fight off something new because of the drug. It's crazy. I love following Dr. Nettles Beauty on Instagram, and they actually were one of our partners for our bundle boxes with their teas, their rose tea, turmeric tea, elderberry tea. They have so many different natural products. They're amazing. But they posted one day, and I was just like, wow, this was like the best post ever. And they said, you know, basically, clearly, medicine does not cure anything.
Right.
And it's funny because when you really think about it, people will have whatever come about, they'll use the medicine, and it never has cured anything. It just will keep you going, and then until something else happens, you know? So it's like just that fine line of just trying to find something that is on the natural side that will help. But then there are times where your body does need the medicine. So finding that balance, you know? So I know you were mentioning apple cider vinegar, which I'm a huge fan of. You mentioned, we were talking over email. Apple cider vinegar, like I'll do like a tablespoon and put it in like a 16-ounce bottle of water and just drink that throughout the day and stuff like that. How has that helped that? And do you use it topically, or do you only ingest it?
Just drinking it, and honestly, like anything that's like fermented too, but just vinegars, and just trying to do just anything natural. I feel like less preservatives, less stuff, just simple. I mean, I kind of go back. So there's a phrase in culinary school that is like stuck in my head, but it's the phrase "kiss," and it's paraphrase for "keep it simple,
stupid." Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, can I say that? Like, you know, so for me, whenever I'm overthinking something, and when it comes to everything from being with my kids, cooking, everyday just life, and loop it, like, kiss. Keep it simple.
Yeah. And isn't it interesting that they don't have a cure for it, but they want you to take the medication? So it's like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, right? So
yeah.
I guess it's just like for symptoms and stuff. So it's amazing that you've learned in the foods, you found the medicine in the foods, you know, to help, you know, your symptoms. That's awesome.
I eat a lot of vegetables. I only eat chicken and seafood. So I also suffer from psoriasis, and my husband was actually out for military training about 2 months ago for about 5 weeks or so. And so it was just me and the kids. And I was like, because he doesn't eat pork or beef. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to do steaks and pork chops and like ribs and everything. So I want to do some more recipes for it. And I haven't had in a while. And I actually woke up and I was having a horrible flare from lupus because I'm just trying to do it all. And I keep telling myself, I got it. I got it. It's not a big deal. And then, because I have 2 kids. I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Oh. So,
yeah. So
Lord, you have one my age, 2-year-old. I have a 5 and a 2-year-old as well, and an 8-year-old. But, whoo, Lord.
Yes.
What's terrible?
Some days I'm like, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, I can't do it. So it's a lot some days, and some days it's okay. But so I suffer from psoriasis, and I ate all this pork and beef, and I woke up with patches all over my body.
Wow.
And I was like, what is going on? And I was flaring, and then I was doing some research, and it happens to show that like it's been proven that there's been a correlation of psoriasis and like lupus and all that kind of stuff eating red meats, and it's not super good for you. And then I took it out, and it took a couple weeks, and it was like night and day. And I was like, well, I learned something new.
It's crazy. Yeah. I am on a journey. So I told people this was probably 3 years ago. I said, I'm on a journey to become vegan. And I didn't want to be one of those over the night, I'm a vegan. No, I want to like truly get to a point where I could weed some things out of my system so that my body would not desire it anymore. And I was watching this guy has a Instagram channel, Instagram page, and he talked about how he recommends that you eliminate 1 to 2 things a year from your diet. And the reason why you only do 1 to 2 things and you do it for the whole year is because most times if you try to go cold turkey, you'll end up going back to whatever it was you were eating because you haven't given your body that chance to really process the change. So 4 years ago, I stopped eating chicken. And then after I said, I'm gonna work on chicken for the whole year. So I started out, I would go like a couple months, no chicken. And my kids and my husband also were a part of this journey. So all of us did it. And there were times where we would eat a little bit, then we would go back. But the fact that I knew I had the whole year made it easier for me to really get it out of my system.
Yeah.
By the time I got to October, I was completely fine without eating the chicken. And that was hard because we were eating chicken like several times a day, every day. There was no, like, even when I told my husband this is what I was going to do, he was like, this is impossible. How are we going to eliminate chicken from our diet? We eat it so much. It's been over 4 years. I've not had chicken. Neither have my kids. My husband, he does really good every now and then, maybe once out of the past year, he's had chicken. So he's really good. After that, I went to eliminating dairy. I did dairy and then I did pork. And then after that, this past year was beef. So right now I don't eat any, I really eat vegetables, fruits. I do juicing. I do a lot of coconut water, regular water, wine. But yeah, so this past year, 2020 was like no beef. And I've been fine to the point when I even smell beef, the smell of the blood completely like turns me off. Like,
Riley, you like beef?
Yeah.
And pork and all that stuff? Huh?
No, I actually haven't had meat in 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, probably almost 9. I haven't had any meat. I'm very strict about what I eat, what I put in my body. And it's funny because I went to the grocery store earlier today, and I don't even go past the meat section anymore. Like, it's crazy. And I would tell people that even when, like, in places where the meat is like all spread out, all really pretty, like in Whole Foods, and it's just all that, I'm like, I still get like a reaction, like, but I'm not one of those people that tries to influence everybody else. I don't try to influence everybody else, but I just, it works for me. My thing was always sugar. Everybody who knows me, I'm a candy fanatic. I'm obsessed with candy. It's really bad. But I will find that if I'm on a streak of eating really healthy for a long period of time, I don't even crave the sugar. And it goes back to what Monique was saying, that your body has released itself from craving those things. Yeah.
It's crazy. So you who said, how do you get enough protein? So anybody who watches my podcast, which is also uploaded to this YouTube channel, if you go back a few weeks, maybe go back to like episode like 4 and just look at me visually. And then when you see me get to around episode 13, you'll start to see me looking really thin. And now I've actually picked up my weight. I actually got on the scale. I'm 125. So yeah, I'm so yes. I'll tell you the journey. So my typical weight, I'm 5'7". I typically weigh 120 pounds. Once I stopped eating meat, I dropped down to 112 pounds, which was my high school weight. And I was really afraid. I was like nervous and I was like, oh my God, maybe this isn't for me. I'm losing too much weight. I reached out to one of my friends, Anisha, who's also one of our contributors. She was on a few weeks ago and she's vegan. So I said, Anisha, I am literally looking like Milani's body with 2 fake boobs. Like, what is going on? And she encouraged me. She said, no, stick with it. She said, your body is going through that point where it's trying to process the new you. She said, for 37 years, you've relied on meat in your diet to give you certain proteins and different things like that. She said, you're going through a point where your body is figuring out, here's where I now have to get my proteins. She said, you're going to drop weight, but then you're going to pick the weight back up. Mm-hmm. And she said, just hold out. And I was like, not depressed, but I was definitely like, yo, I don't even like looking at myself. I'm looking at these videos I'm posting for my podcast, and I'm seeing how my cheeks were like kind of sunk in. I'm like, oh, I'm losing too much weight. But I kept going. And like she said, my body has figured it out. Now, you who asked a very good question, how do you get your protein?
I want to say chickpeas, absolutely. But I want to tell you guys something about this. It's really funny that people always talk about like getting protein from meat, but think about the animals that you eat. The animals that you eat do not eat animals. They eat grass, they eat plants. So they get their protein from plants. I get my protein from plants. And you're about to say chickpeas, which is a huge thing because that's the thing that keeps you full. I remember the chef was talking about that.
We have been tricked. We have been taught that we have to eat meat for protein. We have to drink milk for our bones. And it's not true. Mm-mm. Our bodies are not meant to be cannibals. We're not meant to eat meat. That's not how we were made. And you know what's interesting? If we were meant to eat meat, we would be able to outrun a dog, a lion, a tiger. Those are the ones who actually eat the meat. Where our bodies aren't equipped for that. Our teeth are not structured in the way where we're supposed to tear through flesh. We're supposed to eat plants. We're plant eaters. Our bodies literally tell you that. So it just goes back to the basics of really just recognizing what we are, who we are, and what we're supposed to nourish ourselves with. So it's very interesting when you really start picking it apart and digging deep into it. My son, who is 2 years old, weighs 9 pounds lighter than my 5-year-old daughter. He's never had meat. Huh. Let that sink in. Yeah. Never had meat. When I was pregnant, I was already not eating chicken. So even when I was pregnant, and honestly, I didn't have the desire to eat meat when I was pregnant. So I didn't eat a lot of it. Chris was buying me minestrone soup every day. I was tearing some soup up. To this day, my son, who I was pregnant with, who is 2, loves soup. That's what he loves.
Soup. He said soup.
He will eat raw veggies. All of my kids love to eat raw asparagus, onions. Mm-hmm. They eat it all. So we're able to thrive without those meats. We just have to give our body a chance to process it if we've been doing it for a long time, but we can thrive. And to tell you, like, I'm 120 and I'm 125 right now, and you'll understand how happy that makes me because it's hard for me to gain weight.
I can't believe it. Yeah. Honestly, I can't believe it because I know the struggle and I know where you want it to be. So that's amazing. I'll drink to that.
Now I can start working out. I was like, I don't want to work out and then lose even more weight. Like I was like, go through it. But yeah, so yes. But go ahead, Amber. You look like you were about to say something.
No, like I really think like when my husband was gone and I was flaring and I'm just trying to get together, just keep it simple. And I'm like, I went back and I told, as you said, like the food, like a food journey, it's what you're doing. And I cannot tell you how many of my girlfriends I have been like, I'm gonna do this for a little bit. I think this is the problem. And I keep going, I go back and forth. But adding the vegetables, night and day. And like instantly I'm like, I'm not gonna go back. Like I feel sharper, I feel healthier, I feel better. Like my joints, like on a daily basis, like all my joints hurt. Like all the time. I'm in like I hurt all the time. So like, but it's enough like I'm used to it and I just kind of keep going. But when I eat really healthy, when I rest, when I actually lay down and take a nap, the other day and I was like, looked at my husband, he's teleworking sometimes, which is nice. And I was like, oh, I don't feel too good. He's like, what are you gonna do? And I was like, I like shut the blinds in our bedroom and I just like I lay down. He's like, oh, you don't feel good. And I'm like, nope, I'm listening to my body. I was like, I got another like 6 hours until bedtime.
Right.
I was like, I can't do it. And just going back to the basics, I'm like, my kid needs a nap. I probably need a nap too.
Yep.
Yes. I'm gonna send you a Mila Eve care package. And I'm gonna send you my I have a muscle relief massage oil.
Yes.
And I'm gonna send that to you. And I would love to hear some feedback. And then I'm going to like, when we log off, I'm going to like really dig deep into it. One thing about me is I know oil properties. What I need to understand is I need to look more into what lupus is and what the symptoms are and what they stem from so that I can understand which oil property actually works for that. And I'm gonna look. You got me on a mission. I'm like a mad chemist.
She is, and she will find something. She'll put together a concoction.
But please do. Like lupus is just and it's hard to explain to my 5-year-old. I can't say anything to my 2-year-old. She's so little, and like my 5-year-old, I can say, you're my big boy. I need you to kind of help me a little bit. And it's like even if you don't have lupus or you don't have an autoimmune disease or a chronic illness. Sometimes you're tired. You're like, I need you to be just a little extra help today. And so I think that will be, it's like trying to figure things out for it is just a learning curve every day.
Yeah.
And for sure. This is why I love doing these discussions is because we never know what could work for one person and we never know how another person may be struggling with the same situation. Like we're doing this conversation. We have over 50 people watching us right now. Make sure y'all hit the like button. But even from this conversation, we've seen so many people in the chat that are starting to tell us about how they've experienced family members with lupus. They themselves have lupus. We would have never known this, and to have this information readily available. And then when I send you the different oils I'm going to mix up and we just try it out and see what works. If you can give us the feedback like, oh my God, I used this and it actually really helped, that can help the next person. So I'm really excited. And I really like, my desire is to find you some relief, like I really want to like, I would love for you to be like, oh my God, I used this and it worked, or it worked for a little bit, but it didn't last long. And now I can go back to the lab and figure something else out.
Yes.
I love it. Someone asked, are you a raw vegan? That's my next. So when I said I'm on a journey, that's the next phase. It's so funny how it's always something. You get rid of the meat and then you're like, good, I'm eating vegetables. I'm eating all these beans and I'm doing good. I'm thriving. And then you start discovering, whoa, there's more to it. Raw food. So that's the next journey. My kids are very much raw. They've been on a raw diet. Like
it's funny when you said that. I thought about Milani and her carrots.
Yes.
Because she had me cut up her carrots. Miss Riley, will you cut me up some carrots? Yeah. I'm like, you just eating them? You just eating carrots? You're like, okay, here you go.
Christopher used to eat onions raw. And
really?
He would just eat an onion raw, and it would help him when he was congested. Mm-hmm. So how it started was when he was probably like 11 months old. He had a really bad like sinus situation going on. We were living in Tuscaloosa. That's actually how I started my essential oils journey, because of my son with his sinuses. And I was looking online and it said onions, if you eat it, if you can get your child to eat it, it will really help clear the sinuses. And I'm like, well, that makes sense, because if you put an onion near you, your eyes are going to water. So I offered him an onion and he looked at me like I was crazy. So I ate the onion. And the whole time I'm like this. This is good, trying to trick him. And he's looking at me like, I was like, oh my goodness, this is really good. I eat it again. So then he took a piece and he ate it. And he was like, good, mommy. So finally, he ate it and he enjoyed it. And then everything started pouring out of him. Nose was just like, finally, that night he slept so good. So after that, being that young, experiencing that, no problems. He would just eat raw onions. And me and my husband would look at him like, yo, that's weird. His palate was open for it. He eats raw asparagus, which I think is weird. It does not taste the same as when you cook it with garlic.
It's a little tough too.
Tear it up. Like, yeah. They love raw. It's crunchy. So they love raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so interesting because someone wrote in the comments, they said they're afraid to go vegan because they're afraid they won't get all their nutrients. Isn't it funny that people have this thought of that you get all your nutrients from meat? The amount of nutrients and vitamins that are in vegetables is
it's like we're in the Matrix and we're programmed right now. So the fact that we would think that we wouldn't get what God gave us, which is plants, and he gave us things to eat that are living, because our bodies are living and we're eating living things, not eating dead carcasses. What God gave us is enough.
And then you look at buffalo. You look at buffalo; they're super muscular, and bulls, and they're not eating meat.
Yes. Somebody said, I didn't think about it like that. Yes. I'm telling you. So yeah, no, there's definitely Garden of Eden. And it's funny that you say that. The animals that we eat or we used to eat vegetables. They eat grass.
And they're their protein. They're getting their protein clearly because people are eating the protein from. Yeah. So
are we cannibals? Are we cannibals? Yes. Go ahead, Amber. I know you got something to say.
I will say my daughter, if she only eats meat, it's so weird. It's bizarre. Like my little boy, he will eat everything. Vegetables, raw, cooked, anything. Like we grow a lot of kale in the garden because it thrives there. And so he will literally go in the garden like in the summertime and we'll get big bowls and just pick it, and he'll just sit down and he'll just eat it. He's like, do you want one? And I'm like, yeah, I'll take one. And you want to show your kids, be an example. Yes. So I'll eat it with them. And I'm like, it's not my favorite, but I'll do it. And I'm eating it along with them. But he does it. But my daughter, she is my biggest critic. I will say that. She is picky eater, and she just eats so much meat. So for me, getting her to actually eat vegetables, I have to, I don't want to say sneak it in, but I have to in a way. I need to make sure that she's also, because I know vegetables are so important, and they do, everything for you. I mean, for everyone that does eat meat a lot, it's also depending on what you're eating in moderation, everything is with life, but it's just, I'm sure other parents can feel me on that. The struggle is real with getting kids to eat sometimes.
Yeah.
Or they're really into a certain thing for 4 days, and then, sorry, I gave it to you on the 5th day, even though you were loving it.
It's one of those things where I had to get to a point where my daughter, she's a picky eater, and she's kind of like me, and I know what she likes. So what I try to do is, like Riley said, she loves carrots. Mm-hmm. So if all she wants to eat is a bowl of carrots, at least she's eating. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, let me eat some carrots. Can you try to eat this or eat that? So yeah, my daughter's definitely picky. And I think it also just boils down to genetics with the appetite. I really do, because my husband is a very big meat eater. He used to be. That's how he was raised. Now he's given up the meat. We do eat seafood. So we're not we're pescatarian, I guess. We're not completely vegan. Me, I don't even have to have the seafood. I can eat chickpeas all day. Curried chickpea salad. I love chickpeas, and that's what actually helped me gain my weight. So it's amazing, and the beans and everything. So with my daughter, she's the one when we have company come over and they eat meat. She's like, "Oh, mommy, can I have a piece of the steak? Mommy, can I have some of that rib? Mommy, can I have, some pork?" I'm like, I explain to her, I'm like, look,
you get sick.
It's gonna make you hurt. I said, but if you want to try some, go ahead. And I give her the opportunity to make that decision. And then 5 minutes later, mommy, my tummy hurts. I need some oils, you know.
You know what's funny that you say that? The feeling that people get after eating a ton of meat and they're like, oh, I'm tired. And they have that, what we call the itis. But it is interesting because I don't have those feelings after I eat. No matter how much I eat, I don't have this feeling of like fatigue. And I always tell people like, I don't get sick a lot. Like everyone around me could have a cold, could have the flu, like all my dancers could be sick and take each other out. And we're all at rehearsal. And I'm the last one standing because I'm like, the only thing I can tell you that I do different from you guys is I don't eat meat, and my skin is different. I'm a morning person now, which is really strange because I'm very much a morning person. My quality of sleep is better. Just everything, I'm very regular, and I know that's like a taboo subject for people, but I'm very much an advocate for how often you poop because it makes a big difference in your health. In the way you feel, how tired you are, like how every single thing, your skin, everything, those toxins in your body. And I tell people all the time, even with, if you put meat into the trash can and then all of a sudden you just let it sit there and it sits there and the toxins come from it and that smell, imagine putting that inside 98.6 degrees, and letting it sit there and your body, exactly. And then you're not getting rid of it, and even with, me not eating meat, I'm very on top of how regular I am because I want to get rid of all those things that I don't need that are causing me to get sick or causing me to feel tired and not perform to my highest potential.
Yes. And yes, seafood is it's still considered meat. It's just not a land animal. So I mean, it's a step. So like I said, I'm on a journey, and it's not easy, especially when you've been accustomed to eating a certain way your entire life. To make those changes, you have bacteria in your body, good bacteria and bad bacteria, that is accustomed to receiving whatever it is that you're putting into your body. Your cravings are a result of those bacteria saying, hey, feed me so I won't die. So like even with sugars, people who eat a lot of sugars, I'm like, oh, yeast, fungus, mold, all of that thrive off the sugars. You got a lot of that, all of the bad bacteria in your colon. Anytime people tell me that they suffer from severe like headaches and things like that, my first question, when they're like, what oil for headaches? I'm like, how often do you go number 2? That's the first question. I'm like, I don't want to be like up in your business, but how often do you go number 2? Because that will cause you to have a severe headache. Your gut is your second brain. It literally, all of your main arteries are attached to your colon. So if you have nothing but toxins backed up in your colon, then you're literally pushing toxins all through your body into the major areas of your body. That's going to cause you to have so much discomfort. So like, for instance, if you like, I believe in colon cleansing and all of that type of stuff, taking a probiotic, all of that, keep that system flushing through. The more flushing that you're doing, the better. Your kidneys, your liver, everything. You need to drink too much water, that you're constantly going. You're supposed to go to the bathroom number 2 after a meal.
Every time you eat, yes. It's so funny because Aunt Nisi says it even smells different, which is true. I know that's kind of, but it is true. Yeah, absolutely.
You can tell how your body's doing by how the waste is that is eliminated from your body.
Yeah, Dr. Oz used to say that all the time about.
Yeah. It's true. So if your pH level, if you're a person who tests the pH in your urine, because I'm a person that does that. Get your little pH sticks and you can test your urine to see what your alkalinity level is.
Really?
Yeah, you can get those. You can go on Amazon and get some pH sticks. But that will tell you where you are. And your goal is to be where you're at an alkaline level, to the point where even your urine is at an alkaline state. If your urine is in an alkaline state and that's your waste, that's great. That's what you want to be. So yes. So everybody, now they want oils for inflammation. Well, I will tell you, meat causes a lot of inflammation. It causes a lot of mucus in your body. So that it's like, I can give you oils all day. I can give you remedies all day. But a lot of times what it comes down to is diet. I'm not even going to be like fake with you. I love Me Leave Essentials. I'm always going to promote my brand, but I also want to promote good health and good advice. So that's what we're all about. So oils for recommendation: ginger, turmeric, eucalyptus, any type of minty oil is good for inflammation. I told y'all, wait, what did I just say? Black pepper and another oil that's not even out yet, turmeric. I have turmeric coming and black pepper coming. So we'll have that soon. But
in oils?
Huh?
In essential oils?
Yes. I have an essential oil. So low key, I always get the oils before I release them. I already have them and I'm trying them out. And I use turmeric oil on my face every day. And
she's her own test dummy. Yeah.
Yeah, I literally, I will not put something in my store that I have not tested, tried, and proved it.
I've seen her bathroom, so I know.
Yeah, and I have all these little sample bottles of all different oils that I'm testing out and mix them. And I'm an oil fanatic, but I won't put anything out that I haven't tried on myself and know that it works. But if I have like a acne breakout or a pimple, I put that turmeric oil right on it, neat, and the next morning I'm able to like squeeze it out. It literally comes to a head. It's amazing. So I actually add turmeric oil into my serum that I use on my face every day. And my skin has been just thriving, like incredible. So yeah, everybody's like, look, see, and now you're gonna be bugging me. When the turmeric oil coming out? I'm gonna have to release it sooner than what I planned. Yes. Clove, bergamot, yes. There are so many oils for inflammation. If you go on MelaEve.com, shopMelaEve.com, type in inflammation, all the oils that I have in my store right now that are for inflammation will populate. That's the easiest way. Yes.
I'm very interested because like with lupus, it's inflammation, like from head to toe and just misfiring and not recognizing things. And one of the reasons why I had the contractions, it was essentially lupus. Didn't know I had lupus, wasn't recognizing the baby.
Wow.
And so it was, and so when I actually got pregnant for the second time, I actually had to get the okay. I had to get my levels right. I had to kind of keep myself in check a lot because we really wanted a number 2 baby. And, they're about 3 and some odd months apart, 3 years and a couple months. And it was definitely,
wow,
just that kind of stuff. And like, absolutely inflammation and just trying to keep everything smooth sailing.
Do you incorporate ginger or turmeric into your diet? I know those both are really good for inflammation.
I do a lot of turmeric and I do a lot of ginger. I actually, I'll do juices. I like doing like ginger, apple, and carrot.
Oh, I love it. That is my favorite combination. Oh my God. Apple, carrot, ginger. It is amazing.
I love that. I love doing, basically like my kids love it. Oh, my kids absolutely love juices. And like, I want to post that on Instagram just for anyone else. And it's also for adults and for kids, but I like doing an apple base for everything just to kind of sweeten it up a little bit. But I love carrots and beets and cucumbers. And I always add lemon juice. Lemon juice is or lemons in general. I put lemon in everything. In the 2 dishes that I have, there's lemon in it because I love lemon. I think it's great for you. It helps clean everything out. It helps brighten up flavors. Yeah. And it just does everything for your body. But that's also another way for my one picky eater, my little girl. She just giving all those juices and ginger, turmeric, all that kind of stuff.
Yes. Look, we didn't even get to your dish yet. I'm going to read this comment. What you prepared for us. Oh my God. You who said, do you have oils for your digestive health? My IBS will bloat me and I get backed up. Other times my stomach feels anxious and it feels like fluids. I think I got IBS because of anxiety when I was little. Yes, I actually have an essential oil called Stomach Relief. It is amazing. My kids, so I have an 8, a 5, and a 2-year-old. Okay. Because they've been growing up using oils. They know exactly what oil they need. So like my son will come and say, Mommy, my stomach feels really bloated. You know, can I have some stomach relief? I have an oil called Stomach Relief, and it is amazing. I mean, well, if you're bloating, it's a lot of times it's because of gas. So when you put the oil on your stomach, I will put a few drops in my hand and rub it right on my stomach. And you want to make sure you're going in a clockwise direction, because it'll counter you got to go with the flow of your colon. So clockwise. So if you have a child and they're laying facing you, you want to make sure you're going in a clockwise direction when you're rubbing their stomach. But you can rub it right into their stomach. If you have sensitive skin, you can mix it with a carrier oil. But it works, and it works within minutes. It's amazing. So stomach relief is definitely one. Fennel, ginger, great for stomach. Peppermint, any type of stomach irritability, gas, bloating, stomach bugs, anything like that. Those are great for stomach health in general. And those essential oils and rub them directly on your stomach in a clockwise direction, and you'll definitely see some relief for sure. So yeah, but lemon water is amazing. Definitely. I actually put drops of my lemon into my water, drops of lemon essential oil. I'll put it into my water and drink it throughout the day when I don't have time to squeeze a lemon. Yes. So, all right. So Chef Amber has prepared some amazing dish, like bites and dishes that you can pair with your wine. So let's do that. We've been talking for like almost an hour, and we've not even gotten to what you prepared. But that's good. We've been talking about.
So I have got, as far as like wine, like for me personally, I think what you like is what you like. It makes you happy. That's all that really truly matters, you know? Makes you happy. You love it. It's your favorite. You gotta hide it. You know, it's for you. For me, Malbec and Prosecco. Like, this is my favorite one.
Oh, yes, they're good. I love that Prosecco.
And then my husband, we found these, the little mini ones.
Yes.
So I like doing this. So when I don't want to, I'll open a full bottle. Why not? But then, but sometimes when I just want to have like a little cocktail, especially like on a weekend or, you know, when hanging out with my girlfriends and things like that, and I don't want to have too much, just something kind of light. I like to have that. But I'm going to dive in first with the dip. So for the dip, I'm doing a cream cheese, just super, almost like basic, but simple. I wanted to come up with something that everyone kind of has in their home. Cream cheese and shredded cheese and dry herbs. So that is something that like usually everyone has on hand, and or it's cost effective, it's lower in price, and it's just really quick and easy at the store. So in this, and this goes well with, I don't know if you guys can see or not, but I have a cheese board that I made up with some veggies and everything. Do you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got some tomatoes, celery, peppers, apples, strawberries, cucumbers. I'm actually gluten-free, 100% gluten-free due to lupus.
Yeah.
So I have my gluten-free crackers, and I have my homemade pickles that I do, overnight pickles, and I have some olives. So
yeah,
I wish I was there.
I know, because I love olives and I love pickles. What do you mean overnight pickles? How'd you make the pickles?
So overnight pickles, I just take, my kids love these. I just take just regular pickles, and I will cut them. The ones I have in the fridge right now, they're just long spears, or you can do like the little circles. Fresh dill, pickling salt, distilled vinegar, cold water, peppercorns. I will do a little bit of garlic. For me personally, not too much, but a lot of garlic in this is amazing. And then some red pepper flakes, just to kind of give it a little kick in the back of your mouth when you're eating it. So it's like that nice, like tangy, and the dill, then get you in the back. So I will just cut up probably about like 3 or 4 large cucumbers into a huge Ziploc, or like a, oh my goodness, I'm like mom brain right now. Like I'm like, oh, I can't think. Just like a plastic container. My kids are early birds, so I'm just like, I'm trying to think a little bit. I will do, say, a couple cups of cold water, and then I'll add a couple cups of just vinegar, and then a couple tablespoons to a quarter cup of pickling salt, and I will dissolve it fully, and then pour it over the pickles, or the cucumbers, just enough that they're actually just submerged. Not too much, because then it's kind of diluted, and you don't want to have it you don't want that pickle that you take a bite, you're like, the inside's didn't soak all the way through. This kind of sucks. So, and then I'll add the fresh dill in it is key. Because I've done it before with dry dill, and it's not the same.
Can you please like send me this so I can post it? Because this sounds amazing.
Yes.
I love it.
Same.
And then I will literally do it overnight. Like I will do this probably, I would say, like around like lunch or so midday, and then the next day, lunchtime, I'll take them out and they're ready to go.
Wow.
But I have done it where I've like boiled the vinegar solution, and then I've poured it over top, kind of let it cool down a little bit. And there's a difference if you do it with everything cold. Don't warm the vinegar in the water. Don't warm the salt, nothing. Let it just really stir it to dissolve it, and then pour it over top. And that is where you get that crunch. It keeps it crunchy. And that, I mean, it's one of the reasons why I love pickles, the crunch and like the nice bite to it. But I actually do it with onions. Usually I do the pickles with onions or with cauliflower and carrots.
Chris coming down here trying to steal my wine again, y'all.
Our wine.
Say hi. Say hi. I was telling them about how I was hiding the Camus from you.
Right. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Chris.
Hi.
Have 2 more to go.
Can you make me a plate?
I already made this in the refrigerator.
Oh, you're the best. Ooh, husband of the year.
Ooh,
okay.
What I'm gonna get for it?
I can't. We have not talked about sex this entire life.
That kind of show tonight, Chris.
There you go.
God created us for that. That's the only reason God made us, so we can screw each other.
We're over here talking about cucumbers.
I know it. I got one.
All right.
Just don't dice mine
We were
up.
doing so good.
I'm out. Bye, y'all.
So good. He's a mess. He does. Anybody that's been on Wine Down Wednesday knows that every time Chris comes, the conversation talks.
Here it comes. Exactly.
All right, go back. I'm sorry. Back to your actual cucumbers, not Chris's.
Oh, you are good.
Oh, poor Amber.
It's fine. So the pickles, the same solution that I do for the cucumbers is great for doing with cauliflower. Okay. Pick peppers. I'll like slice them up if I do like this, or just like cut up some baby carrots or celery, and then I'll just do the whole solution. So you have a nice pickled vegetable medley.
Yeah.
Wait, so you put all of the vegetables in there, pour in a solution, and let that all sit overnight. Oh, I'm going to try this because my kids they like eating cucumbers and peppers and things like that. So yes. Okay.
It is like, and that's also a way that my daughter will eat it. She loves pickles, and because it's got that tang to it, and it's not just, she wants flavor. Yeah. She loves it. And so for me, I mean, I love flavor. I need to have a lot of spice and everything, and a lot of herbs and citrus. It's lemon's my go-to. But so for the cream cheese dip, I have 16 ounces, so 2 blocks of the cream cheese that you just get at the store. Best thing for this is room temperature, and I have it in the bowl. I'm doing this sitting down, so this is really just kind of like laid back. This is something that you can do last minute. It takes about, I would say, 25 minutes total with making it, and then putting it in the oven and having it out. All you need is the cream cheese, some shredded cheese. I have a half a cup of mozzarella and a half a cup of white mild cheddar. Okay. So I'm just gonna dump it in. Super easy. And I like this dip because sometimes, I don't know about you, but after a long day with kids and I want to have a date night in with my husband or I'm having a girlfriend over.
Yeah.
And I just want something simple. I don't want to do a lot. I just don't. I'm tired. So I will just kind of give that a stir. And this is also super versatile. So this dip, I'm just going to show to do just like herbs and cheese. Okay. But you can actually add crab meat to this, make it a crab dip. You can do spicy sausage, really good. I do turkey sausage. Okay. Do shredded chicken and if you want to do like a buffalo dip, and you can add some chives and some sharp cheddar cheese and some hot sauce. So this is really just like a nice baseline. Okay. Get cheese dip. So
my family member just texted me back. She said that she has systemic lupus, SLE. That's the same one. Right? It's crazy because when you were describing your symptoms, I'm like, yes, it really sounds like her. So yeah, she said that's what she has. Wow.
Yes.
So I'm gonna
it's just
care package to make her one too.
Yes. Now this is my easy part. So everyone, I don't know, do you guys have like spice mixes in your cabinets? So like this one's like a Mediterranean citrus, or this one's like a McCormick. You get like different like blends, or like basil, oregano salt, or like this one's like a buttermilk ranch. So you can do these, and all you need to add is about 2 teaspoons total. Or for this one, you can make your own blends. So you can kind of look at the back of a label for, say, an Italian seasoning. It's really garlic, onion, salt, oregano, basil. And you have all of them, so you don't have to go to the store to buy an Italian seasoning blend. You can do it yourself. You kind of want to do equal parts. The salt, you want to cut it back about 1/4 of the amount, because when you are dishing it out, if you happen to have a lot of salt in that teaspoon, that dish can be very, very salty. You can always add salt, then take it away. Okay. And that's a big thing. So for me, I just did that little blend of the oregano, basil, onion, a little bit of garlic, not too much for me, and then some salt. All you want to do is just put in about 2 teaspoons for this one, 1.5 to 2 teaspoons. And it's a lot of flavor. All you're going to do is just mix it up. And when you're mixing, you kind of want to fold it. So when you fold something, you go from the top and you go all the way underneath. You hit that bottom of the bowl and you come up and flatten it. That's the best way to mix something in, because everyone wants to kind of just mix it this way, but then at the bottom of your bowl, it's blank. There's nothing there. Okay. So, and that's even like key of like, this is gonna get melted, so it's gonna meld together and mix. But just as general rule, you want to have everything incorporated. So, just a couple little things. All right. So my like love and life of every recipe, if like you look at all my recipes, there's lemon in there. Yeah. And probably like 95% of the recipes, there's lemon juice and lemon zest, or lime, either or. So for me, my zester and my lemon, this is what I think just kind of kicks it up a little bit to make it extra juicy. You can pop it in the microwave for a couple seconds, but just rolling it on the counter. Super easy. It helps to break up, I call it just the meat inside, the fibers, and kind of just gets the juices going. So you want to zest first, then cut. It will not work out too well if you cut then zest, because then your juices get all over your hands. So there's the 2 sides of a zester. You want to go with the smooth side. You want to go not too far down. If you go down enough on a lemon and it's white, it's actually going to become bitter. And it'll do the opposite for you. Okay. It'll actually make the dish kind of have a very like a bitter lemon, it's going to taste kind of like not burnt, but kind of, I don't know, flat note, I guess. So when I'm zesting, I am like, I can see this or not. I am turning it every couple strikes down, then I turn it slightly.
Okay.
And then I turn it.
Don't keep going on the same spot because then it'll, okay.
And then I just tap it with a lemon. And I just kind of keep going. You want to do about, for this size, you want to do about half the lemon.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm going to do is I'm going to cut about a quarter of this. And this is super easy. I'm just sitting down. This is super laid back. Just hanging out. So about, let's see, this is about, do about 1 teaspoon. I'm going to do a little bit more lemon. I like that lemon. Just a little bit more. There you go.
Okay.
And then you just want to mix it in. Same thing, same idea of folding it in. So it mixes all together. Now, you want to get an oven-safe dish. The wider the dish, the quicker it will cook. Okay. Versus the more depth, it will take longer. But it just depends on what you have. I have this dish. So it's not too deep. This is a 20-ounce ceramic. All I'm going to do is I'm going to just dump it in. There's no need to spray it. There's no need to do anything really to it. Super easy. And again, if you want to make this a little bit more hearty, or if you eat meat, crab meat, shredded chicken, spicy sausage, things like that. So all you want to do is just spread this evenly into the dish. Let me see. And if you have a little bit extra, just kind of get it to be all nice even inside. Okay.
I'm going to be reminding this and like literally I'm going to try this.
And then I just have some more of the mozzarella and the mild cheddar. And all I'm going to do is stew. And there's no true, if you want just all mozzarella on top or all cheddar cheese on top, absolutely go for it. But I am just going to spread it just on top, just to make a nice single layer. And that's going to help give that nice bubbly crust in the oven. So this will go into an oven at 400 for about 18 to 22 minutes.
Okay.
Then if you really want it to be like that classic bubbly, you know, the little dark bits of cheese on top, hit it under the broiler.
On the top.
Do not walk away, because I have done that before. And everyone has done it, but like you get distracted by something, stand at that oven. A minute and a half to 2 minutes is all that you need. So because it's YouTube and with our time, I'm going to put it in my magic oven and I'm just going to put it off to the side.
Okay.
And I have one already done.
Oh my God, that looks so good.
Oh my God.
And if you want to, absolutely, just put on some more Zest on top. I would let it sit for like probably 10 minutes or so, just so y'all don't burn your mouth. And just kind of let the cheeses come back together and solidify a little bit more. But it goes well. So,
and then you would dip the gluten-free crackers in it, or exactly. Oh, wow.
So, and this,
me and Riley are like the greediest people ever.
Come over, everything, you know. This is definitely an easy thing to do.
I bet the kids love it too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This is definitely a family favorite for us.
Yeah.
And my little boy loves cooking with me. My little girl, she loves doing it too, but she likes to eat the ingredients. So she'll definitely just like start eating all the cheese.
Right.
My little boy loves to help cook and stir and everything. This is so good.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Let me get my little apron. Oh, my green on.
Yes. Oh, I cannot wait to try this. I'm going to try it. I'm going to post it. So that you'll know. Like, look, I'm going to try it. And have my kids help me.
Yes.
Yes.
Project. They'll enjoy that. They love being in the kitchen. They love helping. So that's cool.
I'm a huge fan of Kids in the Kitchen. Let them cook.
Yeah.
Let a kid cook if you have a picky eater, or if you have like a kid that's like, I don't want to eat it today, or things like that. Get that kid in the kitchen. Let them play with the food. Everyone's like, don't play with your food. Don't do this. That's how
That's how they
learn the world.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I literally, my kids, they were always helping. If I'm making pancakes, whatever I'm doing, they want to help. So I let them, so it's like, why not? Yeah. That's the best way for them to learn, honestly. So yay. Poisonologist said her doorbell rang and she got her Mila Eve oil, her order. That's awesome. Yeah.
It just rang and she got it.
I be getting them orders out, y'all. I don't be playing. I try to get it every day. That's always like a goal. As soon as it comes in, I'm like, let me go fulfill this,
Right.
So,
yeah. I have to ask you, who's going to help you eat that charcuterie board?
My husband. Yes. Kids are asleep. I told him, I was like, I hope you're ready for cocktails and a small snack, and we can celebrate and hang out tonight. And he's like,
awesome.
I live for it.
Right to a date night.
Yes. He came down earlier, like before everything, and he was like, oh, that smells so good. And I was like, not yet. You gotta wait. I was like, you gotta wait about a little bit.
Oh my God, no, that it looks amazing. I can't wait to try this recipe. Seriously. Helen said, I want to order Mila Eve. I need something for anxiety and menopause. Menopause, hormonal symmetry, anxiety. We have so many oils. Just type in anxiety in the search box and all of them will populate, because we have anti-stress, calm down, time out, positivity. All of those oils are great for anxiety. So then they're blends. So you're getting a combination of several oils all mixed into one. So if you type in anxiety, all the ones that will relate to that will pop up. And if you type in menopause, the same. So we have hormonal symmetry is the one I always recommend because it's a blend. It's easy. But clary sage is great for menopause. There's so many other oils that are great for menopause as well. So yeah, check it down. Check it out. Check it out. Poison Salad said, I wrote down the ingredients: 2 packs of cream cheese, mozzarella cheese, mild cheddar, spice mix, herb blend, lemon zest on it.
Yes. And honestly, the herb mix, like the herb blend, whatever that you like, what's your favorite? Like, add it to it. It's going to just come out. Add that lemon juice and zest. I'm telling you, it is a life changer.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to have to get a zester. I don't have one.
I don't either. And I'm like, I use lemon and everything. Okay, so
yeah,
that's on my list.
One of my favorite things, like I was talking to a friend and I was like, what do you use all the time? And I was like, a zester every day.
I'm surprised Monique doesn't have a zester.
No, you know what I do? I use a grater.
It works. Just really, you got to really make sure you turn that lemon or the orange or the whatever citrus fruit you're doing.
Yeah,
really kind of turn it.
And what you said is what I do. I don't let it get to the white part. Yeah, I'll just keep turning it. But I use a grater, and that's what I use to zest my oranges and things like that.
It works.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes. No, I'm trying to look. Everybody is excited about this recipe. Danielle said, Monique, how do I order some of your oils? Visit shopmilaeve.com. I'm gonna put the banner up one more time because I'm actually offering 15% off of all of my kits. We have like 10 kits, 15% off. And the kits are already lower price because I give you a deal because there's several oils that you're getting. If you were to buy all of those individually that's in the kit, you would spend so much more. So I'm giving you 15% off on top of that. So visit shopmilaeve.com. That's how you visit. That's how you order the oil. Sorry, y'all. I've been drinking and I haven't had anything to eat yet. I ate earlier, but it's like past dinner time. I've been live.
It's time for you to eat again. Yeah.
I sat down here at 6:40 because I had some stuff to do on the computer before I went live for Tea with Monique. So yeah, I've been in this chair for almost 3 hours and I need to go eat. Yes. Cool. I love this lemon drizzle I make. It's so good on meats, but I'm sure it'll be good on veggies. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Awesome. No, this has been great. I cannot wait to try this recipe. And I would love to, if you send it to me, I will post it to our Instagram. So you can get the recipe. That would be amazing. Yes.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, listen, this has been an amazing episode, and I am like dead set on making a concoction for you. So
I would love that.
Yes, it's something that will just at least provide some type of relief. And I just texted my family member. I told her, I was like, I'm going to send you the same concoction. That's amazing. So let's see. We have all of the information on Chef Amber in our description down below. Everybody that's watching the video, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Visit our website, notforlazymoms.com. Join our community. It's free. We offer giveaways every month, or at least every other month, and you get extra discounts and everything for our store and for Mila Eve when you're a part of the community. So why not just give us your email address? That's all we're asking for. Yes. Anything that we want to close with, Riley or Chef Amber, before we leave?
I would say just, for me, for cooking with everyone, if you're a little nervous, it's okay. Just kind of get yourself in the kitchen and just experiment. I mean, that's how you make the best recipes, or it's how you learn. And that's what I learned about. That's what I love about cooking, is that you can never stop learning. There's always new techniques. There's always new ways. There's always things on like TikTok that I see and like trends. Do it. Try it out in the kitchen. Get comfortable. There's nothing you can like lose about it. You just gain knowledge and gain love for food.
Yeah, I agree with that. I cook every day, sometimes 3 times a day, which is crazy. But yeah, I know. But I find that I learn new things all the time. I'm always like mixing things, and I'm like, this would taste good with this, and this would taste good with that. And especially since I'm pescatarian, I'm always blending vegetables and trying to try new things, and I'm always excited about that. So just like you said, just try everything. Like, you'll figure out what you like, and absolutely.
Yes, and I'm a person that I like my red wines in the evening. I would not drink red wine during the day. I just can't do it. So I like to have like some bubbles, or I'll do like a white wine, like a rosé or something like that. We've been drinking, what was it? Love Corkscrew.
Yes, that was good.
Good times with friends.
Yes, we had that one, and we had love. What was the other one?
It was so
we had different ones. I know.
It was so good, y'all. Make sure they were one of our past sponsors, Love Corkscrew. Check out Good Times with Friends.
So good.
Amazing. It was so good. And even La Crema, their rosé.
Oh, La Crema, yes. That was good too. You gave me La Crema, the white one. Yes.
During the daytime. If y'all need a daytime wine, check it out. But yeah. So thank y'all so much for watching. We appreciate everybody for coming to see us, as always, on Wind Down Wednesdays. So until next week, make sure y'all check out Chef Amber on her Instagram. All the information is posted below. And visit our website, subscribe, and you'll see even more articles by Chef Amber and all of us that contribute on notforlazymoms.com. So thank y'all so much, and y'all have a great night. Thank you so much, Chef Amber, for coming on, and we can't wait to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Awesome. Bye.
Yeah.